So I'm Curtis Millsap, and this is my farm. Sarah, my wife, and I and our 10 kids own and operate this place, along with a host of interns and apprentices and community members. At any given time, it's a real regular three-ring circus of activity. So we have about 20 acres. We grow vegetables on 2 acres of that, and about 10,000 square feet of that is undercover like this. Greenhouses and high tunnels that allow us to do a lot of season extension on both ends. We have crops far into the winter and early into the spring. Since then, started with a very small plot. We did like 1 acre of vegetables. At one point we grew up to doing 7 acres of vegetables, 1,200 meat chickens, 800 laying hens, 30 pigs, way too many goats, 400 turkeys. We had a whole bunch of stuff going on. And that kind of peaked out around 2010, 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago now. If you're doing things with the right amount of effort, the right amount of land, the right amount of water, the right amount of attitude, then things come together very nicely. The reason that we have the caliber of help that we have out here, the caliber of men and women who come out and lend us a hand, a lot of people who come because they want to learn the mechanics of what we do, but then they very quickly learn that it's not just about the mechanics. There's so much more to it, because you could do everything technically right and still have a very empty life, I think. But we're learning to fill both of those voids. That we're learning how to do this in such a way that we are pleasing God, and we're doing it as well as we know how to do, and growing in that each year. And also, we're learning technically how to produce things more effectively and more efficiently, and that makes us all happy too, because less hours, more productive labor is a good thing for everybody.
There's kind of it's kind of a revolving door. There's people coming in and out all the time. Sometimes you think, oh, there's not going to be very many people on the farm today, and then there's 15 people show up. So it's a lot of fun, and everybody's welcome to stay and eat and help. And I work with a lot of really great people, and Curtis and Sarah and the family are awesome and very welcoming, and we have a lot of fun together. We bounce ideas off of each other, and we check with each other before we do things, and we do things together. It's a lot of fun. I don't really consider this work. It's hard, but it's not.
So pizza night is something we started about 2 years ago. The season, it looks kind of magical. All these lights, and it's beautiful summer evenings on the farm. Kids are out playing in the lawn. The parents are hanging out at the picnic tables, enjoying good food, and we have live music. We have several local musicians who come out every Tuesday or every Thursday night and play. And when the weather's cold, we build fire. When the weather's warm, we turn on the sprinkler. It's just a really good time. We really love community. We love connecting with people. We love sharing our farm with people, and everybody who comes out here walks away going, and that is unlike anything I've ever done.
That's how it is. Everybody's kind of adopted.
Curtis and I have 10 kids. We have 5 adopted and 5 biological children. When Curtis and I first met, we were both very active in taking care of children in different ways, and we were both called to lives of caring for children. And so when we first got married, we were trying to pursue that and understand what the Lord had for us in that. I wasn't one of those who grew up saying I was going to have 10 kids, but I also am one of those that will follow if that's what God has for me. So it's not something that I went after myself, but I embrace it knowing that He'll equip me if this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's not something that is done easily, but being on the farm, it helps a lot. I have a hard time imagining what it would be like to raise 10 kids in the city where they don't have room to run and play and explore and have their own activities going. I'm not constantly entertaining my children. They are usually entertaining me and showing me their newest project and the newest thing that they're doing, or the eggs they collected, or the bug they found and what it's doing and what it's hatching out. And so it's a natural place for a large family to be able to be. And then also, I'm not home alone with my kids all day, my husband's in their lives, and Curtis is able to plug in with the kids all day long. If something's going on and I need an extra hand, then my dad's also here. Like right now, he's up at the house reading to the kids. They're not just let loose. They have Grandpa now. So the whole community together, helps raise the batch of children.
We have 10 children. That's a big part of our life. I mean, that's constant presence in my life and my wife's life. It's also a constant presence on the farm. The fact that we have those kids means that we attract a certain group of people who are also passionate about being part of a family and being in that environment. And so that then plays out in the field, where people who are nurturers with children, I find, are also nurturers in the garden. So it's all one big thing that rolls together and makes Millsap Farm. "10 years down the line, what would this farm look like?" There's a couple things I think would happen. One is, we hope that we would eventually probably expand the farm some in terms of acreage. And the reason for that is not so much that we need the land in terms of income or things like that. What we really see, though, is that we would love to be able to enlarge our community. And so the actual people living on farm, or people engaged with the farm on a weekly basis. And to some degree, we're going to have to expand our footprint to be able to do that. Which brings us to the second thing that I would hope maybe in 10 years, if that's what's in the plans, is that we might have some other families living out here as well. I would love to see a time when there's 4 or 5 families living here. And when I say families, I include people who are single and so on, but I think that that's, in a lot of ways, we talked a little bit about resiliency, that gives us that more flexibility, where we've got people who are interested in livestock, we have people who are interested in vegetables, we have maybe people who aren't interested in necessarily being hands-on on the farm, but it would be a beautiful thing if we had somebody come along whose passion was accounting. Then we could be able to tell at the end of the year whether we're going to have money in the bank. That'd be a beautiful thing, But all that, I put all those plans forward and say, that's really just, if it happens, that's the way it works. We tried for a long time to make things happen, and I realized that you can't. These kinds of amazing things like community, you can't force that. What you can hope is that by nurturing it, it's similar to planting a seed. You can put the seed in the ground, you can water and so on, but we don't make the seed grow. And so surrendering to that has been a big part of this whole journey. And so that's, as I give you my plans, I give it with a big caveat that all this, if the seed grows, right? But we would hope that it would be bigger land-wise. We would hope that we would have more families involved. We would also hope, and this is not specific to my farm, but part of our mission here is to grow the local food movement all around Springfield. So I would love to see another 10 or 20 farms like us that have sprung out from apprentices or other farms that we've connected with and shared and become this great community. Wouldn't that be a beautiful thing if there were 10 farms like this scattered around the edges of Springfield? So that's a big hope too, but again, not something I can do other than what I can do is be open. And so we have a lot of people who come and spend time with us, whether they're volunteers, whether they're just here for a day to learn from us, whether they're hopefully watching a video eventually and going, wow, that's a cool thing they're doing. And that's, the simple cliche thing is, be what you hope to see in the world, right? Because we can stand around and preach all day long, but what we do speaks much more loudly. So I hope that what we are doing here inspires others and creates an atmosphere that these communities thrive in.